Hello everybody, welcome back into Jar's Toy Emporium. My name is Jacob and it is another new comic book Wednesday. Now I know it's been a little while since we posted a new video because it has just been absolutely crazy in my life. Work has been non-stop and then everything after work with getting home, going to church on Wednesday nights, everything. It has just been so busy. So I've been trying to upload some small shorts here and there, but unfortunately, the videos have suffered from that. But that is all changing today because obviously we are recording another new comic book Wednesday. It's going to change a little bit more though because we are not going to be posting new comic book Wednesday videos on Wednesday anymore. We are going to be changing those over to Thursday, which will just give me a little bit more time on Wednesdays with church and everything to actually get these videos edited and uploaded and everything, and it not be a huge rush. And I also will get to upload them at a better time, which I think will be very beneficial to the channel, not uploading stuff around 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So I am excited about that. I hope you guys are too. But enough jabbering on. Let's get to the comic shop and let's see what awesome pickups we got this week. Back again at Gotham City Limit. Checking out the new comic book table, they did have Godzilla vs. Spiderman, which this has been like a mini series that I have been loving seeing come out every couple of weeks. I hope they eventually do like a collection of all of them in like one hardcover book because I think that'd be really neat to kind of have them all together. They did somehow have the Batman Hush 2 stuff left over from last week, which was still really cool to see, but I didn't pick up any of it this time around. Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 16 is my pick of the week. I am super stoked, and it really is the only Marvel comic that I'm interested in. They did have some of the Wolverine and Kitty Pryde stuff, which had some neat covers. They had some Red Hulk, all that stuff. But one thing I have been really enjoying see come out recently are these connective covers as you're seeing right here at the Fantastic Four. I think those are really, really cool, but I haven't picked them all up yet either. Maybe that'll be something I pick up in the future. They did have some Power Rangers Prime, which is another thing that I would like to read at some point. And then this was interesting, Planet Death issue number 0. I always am interested in like those new series coming out. And then I don't really look at it much, but that Sonic Flash cover is really, really cool. And I only noticed it back when I was recording. I didn't even notice it while I was at the store. And then some more Godzilla versus Los Angeles stuff. And then something I know a lot of people are really excited for is Something is Killing the Children, but again, not something I have read yet. So I'll have to catch up on that at some point. Moving over to DC, no DC pickups for me this week. They did have some Radiant Black, but they also had Void Rivals, which I'm really excited about, and Rockefellers, but I am moving to the trade paperbacks for those. Alrighty guys, so we are back in the studio from work. We have our new comic books that you guys just saw me go and pick up at the comic book shop, and it's also a very fun week because Saturday is Free Comic Book Day. So if you guys aren't familiar with Free Comic Book Day, it is an opportunity for you to go to your local comic shop. They're giving out free comic books, so obviously there's a reason enough to go, but I know a lot of comic shops also do some other cool special stuff. I know, for instance, Gotham City Limit, they're having like a huge new comic book day. They're supposed to be like food. They're doing a ton of free comic books. They have some discounts. They're doing raffles. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I know a lot of other comic book stores do some cool stuff like that. So I'd highly recommend you guys go check out your local comic shop for new Comic Book Wednesday. So little plug right there before we start talking about the books that we picked up. Again, very light week this week, but it doesn't mean there's not some great stuff in here. And I'm a little bit thankful it's a light week because if you guys are also Lego collectors like myself, you guys know that May the 1st is a huge release day for Lego Star Wars sets in honor of National Star Wars Day, which is May 4th, which is also my birthday. So it kind of works out because I usually get to get some birthday gifts that are Lego sets, and it's a lot of fun. So super excited about that. But that's what makes a light stack this week that much better because I have a little bit more money to spend for the new Lego sets. But we'll talk about those in a future video. You guys will see all of the new Lego sets that I do pick up. So very excited about that. Look forward to that in the future. But let's talk about some of these comic books. Alrighty guys, so we only got one Marvel comic this week, but it is a big one, and you guys probably saw a little bit of it already. Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 16. Now, I've been loving the Ultimate Spider-Man stuff, but the coolest thing about this book, if you guys didn't know, Mysterio is my favorite member of the Sinister Six, and we have a Mysterio cover here. So this is really, really cool. I love the colors on here too. The pink and green look really good. Obviously, the red and blue spider suit just peak right there. So super excited about this. If this was the only Marvel comic book I could pick up every week, I would do it because I love the Ultimate Spider-Man stuff that much. So very excited about that. Now, we do not have any DC books this week, which is a little sad, but also not terrible because we've been getting so many DC comic books recently. A little break isn't terrible for me, and there were some comics that were released today that I'm sure some other people picked up, just nothing for me. But that's okay because we do have an image book from my favorite comic book writer of all time, and that is Robert Kirkman. Might be a little bit of a bandwagoner because he's just written some of the biggest stories of all time, but I think that's okay for you to call him your favorite writer if he has made such great stories like The Walking Dead, Invincible, and Void Rivals. So we have Void Rivals issue number 18 here. every week that this comes out, I know it's just going to be a great read. There's not been a comic issue of Void Rivals that I've put down and been like, that wasn't the best. I'm a little bit disappointed. This is always just good to great. Like, I'm always super happy with the product that we get from Void Rivals. So excited to tap into this. I know it's going to be good. I might have jinxed myself. Maybe he's due a bad issue, but I don't think so. Next up, something that's a little bit interesting. We have an issue 0 for a comic, and if you guys aren't familiar with what issue 0s are, usually they're like a preview for a new issue that's coming out in the future. So this is actually Planet Death issue number 0 here. And the cool thing about this, the reason I was interested in grabbing this is because this is actually from the writer, the creator of John Wick. So I'm expecting some really, really good action scenes throughout this. I think the cover looks good and it's lots of action going on. If you guys didn't know, I love me some just good action, some fighting, some shooting, all that good stuff. And obviously from the creator of John Wick, I'm expecting that from this. Now, the other cool thing that I thought was interesting about this comic, which you might not be able to tell on camera, but this is printed on like newspaper, which I thought was kind of cool. Obviously, it's not printed on like actual newspaper, but the feeling of the texture of the paper feels like a newspaper. So I don't have any comics like that, so I thought this was a perfect time to pick up something a little different, and hopefully it's a good story because issue number 1 comes out on July 1st, which isn't too far from now. And if it's as good as John Wick stuff, as far as the action, it'll keep me entertained. So very excited about Planet Death issue number 0. And then the last thing that we picked up this week is the Last Ronin II ReEvolution issue number 5. And look at how awesome this cover is. Now, this cover has the ghost turtles and stuff up there on the back. So we got Leo, Donnie, Raph, Michelangelo, and then we have Master Splinter and Casey Jones. So I think this might be the best cover of cover A's that we've gotten from the series. There's been some variant covers for the Last Ronin 2 that have been amazing. I don't know if you guys have seen the Nintendo, the NES ones that they've done for this. Those look really, really cool. But I think this is a great issue, cover 5, or cover A, issue 5. I love this. I think this looks really cool. And it goes perfectly, which I don't know if I've shown you guys this on the channel. I did pick up the Funko Pop Amazon exclusive 4-pack here of the Last Ronin with the ghost, so that goes really well with that. But yeah, I've been loving the Last Ronin stuff. I know some people don't like it as much, but if you guys didn't know, that was actually the first comic that I ever read from front to back. It was only 5 issues, so really wasn't that hard to read, but it was my first comic book that I read, so I love keeping up with the Last Ronin 2 because it just kind of brings that nostalgia back to me, and I really, really enjoy that aspect of the Last Ronin. So yeah, that is my new comic book Wednesday haul. Again, you guys heard at the beginning of the video, these will start coming out on Thursday just to give me a little more time to edit, get home, kind of relax a little bit, not feel as much as I'm in a rush. And hopefully that means I can just put out some better content for you guys. So if you guys did enjoy this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Again, remember, tomorrow when you guys are seeing this video, hopefully you watch it when it releases, it is May the 1st, so we have those new LEGO sets come out, so you guys can look forward to seeing a LEGO set unboxing / haul video in the future. So maybe picking up my first UCS set, which is really exciting. And if you guys know which one is releasing tomorrow on May 1st, you know which one I'm going to be picking up. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next Thursday for another New Comic Book Wednesday.